What is going on YouTube? Robo Sushi here, bringing you guys the finals match of the Steel Fox games. This is the locals that I played at recently. I will be on the right playing the Three Musketeers list that I posted a video on recently, and my opponent will be on the left playing Security Control. Just in advance, I want to say there is going to be a glare in the middle of the screen. I had to switch tables for this game, so couldn't really do much about the glare. So I'll try to go over what's happening that when the cards are covered up by the glare. So anyway, I'll start off, I'll hatch, raise, or digivolve into the Sound Birdmon and hard play a Sound Birdmon. Passing the turn, my opponent will then go into the Upamon, hatch the Upamon and hard play a GeoGreymon to deal with the Sound Birdmon. I'll raise my Sound Birdmon, trashing the Trump Sword to fill up the trash with my options and Three Musketeers cards, and then I'll hit the Corgimon out of security, the Sound Bird will die, and I'll draw one, discard one off of the Demimera effect, discarding the Gundra. At this point, I'm already far behind, so I end up just playing the Beelstarmon for 10 because I only have 2 in trash. I wish I had something like Gwalt Schwarmer, but I don't really, so I just kind of have the Trump Sword to play, so I'll take it back out and play it to delete the Corgimon, maybe stop any tactical retreat. My opponent will start off by digivolving into the Bushy, cycling, and then playing the Izzy Joe, swinging in with the GeoGreymon, hitting security. The mat will come out, and I'll just go ahead and take the Soundbird. I don't think at this point I had a rookie, so I needed to make sure I had something to go into, and this is when he will tactical retreat the GeoGreymon back into security, and then play the reinforced memory boost to throw another Digimon there, and then get the Izzy to hand. Here is where I'll hatch the Sunamon and digivolve into the Sound Birdmon that I got back, swinging with the Beelstarmon, checking the GeoGrey that I know is there, and then just going to go ahead and go into the Zwart to play an Impmon and a Sound Birdmon. I need more cycle, so I got to bring those back out just to put some pressure on the board, even with the Izzy Joe. So this is where he'll pop the memory boost to gain a little bit extra memory so he can hard play this GeoGrey, dealing with the Sound Birdmon again. Swinging in with Bushi, it'll live. Swinging in with the GeoGrey, it'll live as well. So at this point, I'm already really low on security. I'm looking kind of down, trying to figure out how exactly I'm going to deal with this. He plays the Izzy that he got off of the Reinforce, finding out how he's going to stack it. I think at this point, I think he ends up leaving it the same. Yeah, just leaving it the same just in case he's got recovery. So here's where I'm going to have a misplay that comes up in a second. I'm going to raise the Sound Birdmon, swing in, discarding with his effect to gain the memory, and then I'll draw off of the Sunamon. It'll check a GeoGreymon that I know is in security. He'll pop the Imp, but I don't remember to let the Sound Birdmon get destroyed, so that kind of comes up in a little bit, unfortunately. So at this point, I have to kind of deal with the board. He's got a board of very threatening things, so instead of swinging at security, I'm going to use his effect of swing in with the Zwart to take out a GeoGrey, swing over the Bushy just to try to help clear the board. Here I'm looking at my trash, seeing what I might be able to play. I have a Beelstar in hand, so I'm just going to go ahead and play her. I think at this point she's 9, so I'll go ahead and use Happy Bullet Shower to take out the 2 GeoGreymon, deleting all the Digimon with the lowest DP, just to help clear the board. He'll hatch into the Koopymon, try to think about what he's going to do. Plays another Izzy Joe, just going to stack up the memory since I am going to have a bunch of stuff on board. He's going to gain a lot of memory from that. Decides to use the Wyvern's Breath, deleting the Beelstarmon. Yes, it helps fill up my trash, but at the same time, that Zwart's not really going to do anything at this point, so whereas the Beelstarmon can have something going up. So I'll just hatch, don't have a rookie in hand, swinging in with the Soundbird, trying to decide what to discard. We'll just go ahead and discard the Happy Bullet, gain a memory, or Fly Bullet. We'll hit the Reinforced Memory Boost, and then another Tactical Retreat for some recovery. Again, this is where that Sound Birdmon coming into play actually affects things, because I do get an extra security check. But I'll just go ahead, play a Deputymon, don't really hit anything. Trying to decide what to do, so I just go ahead and evolve into the Rebellymon for a little bit more cycle. Trying to decide if I want to discard an option or discard something else to fill up my trash. I decide to just go ahead and get the Promote in trash. It's going to be more useful there than it will in my hand most of the time. And doing a little bit more cycle, I'll digivolve into the Gundramon. So here, Gundramon's effect, I read it to make sure I don't have to activate it, and Gundramon does say you may, so just so you know that, you don't have to activate his effect, so just to fill up the trash. I'm getting a little low on my deck size already. This is an issue you have to really worry about when you play this list, is you have to pay close attention, especially against a matchup like Security Control. So here my opponent will just go ahead and get rid of the Gundramon, get rid of any targets that I can maybe go into another Zwart or a Millenniummon or something. go ahead and pop the memory boost, gain a memory, and just throw down the Magnadramon, sorry, to recover some. Kind of a misplay on my part to let him get below for security. But anyway, here's where I go ahead and hatch and then Digivolve into the Hitmon, swinging in with the Soundbirdmon again. So there he gets 2 extra checks off, more than he should have, but there's a couple of stuff happens on the other side that helps even it out maybe. So we'll swing into the security with the Zwart, checking another tactical retreat. So that is the Zwart that is in the glare. Here I'll just go ahead and deal with the Magna by playing Fly Bullet just to keep his board clear. I am at 2 security, so I have seen Bushy, so I'm always just scared about the Bushy. So I'll just go ahead and Digivolve into Raising with the Vilemon. My deck is looking a little thin, so I don't really want to mill too much more if I can avoid it. And then I also don't want to give him any extra memory since he does have 2 Izzy Joes on the field. So here's where he just decides to pass. I just go ahead, raise, swing in with the Zwart. It hits the Sakuyamon. We don't have to worry about that. We just go ahead and swing with the Vilemon. So this is where I miss. We both don't pay attention to the fact. Well, I miss the fact that he draws with the Edens, and I ask him what he's going to target. He said it doesn't matter, and then we both couldn't remember already. The game's kind of gone on for a little bit at this point if he is drawn with the Edens. So he draws again. So a little misplay on both of our parts. Me not to catch it, and him to just draw a second time. Anyway, so he deletes the Vilemon, so the Vilemon doesn't get to live for another turn. Kind of helps make up for the fact that Soundbirdmon got a couple of extra checks in. So at this point I'll just pass. I don't have anything I want to do. I don't want to mill too much more. This is where he draws, Digivolves into the Bushi and Raising, goes into the Magna, so gets 2 more recovery off. At this point, I am low on security at deck at this point, and I do see Bushi, so I have to constantly remember to deal with this Magna because Magna swing into Bushi is always going to be a scary thing. So I swing in with the Zwart again, sticking around on the field, hitting another Cordramon. So at this point, I have to decide, do I block up or do I try to play something else? I don't think I have a Beelstarmon in hand at this point, so I just have to go ahead and hard play the Nailbone. This is where I thought I was going to go in and swing, but I realized I'm just going to be dead to the Bushi and back, so I just go ahead and get the Vilemon out for extra security, just in case I don't have any way to recover from this. Thinking about what I do, and I do have to just go ahead and answer this Magnadramon, even though he's going to pass him to 10 because of the 2 Izzy Joes. He'll swing in, I'll have to block it, he'll swing in with Bushi. That time it'll die. That's where he's looking at his hand, plays another Bushi. So he's 3 Bushis deep. So I know there's only 1 more to deal with. That's where I thought he had the other Bushi, so I was getting ready to scoop my cards up. But the Bushi will die to that Beelstarmon, hopefully filling up the trash. I can't remember at this point if I had an Impon in hand, so I can't really wondering if I can get that back. Here's another little misplay on both of our parts. We let the Holy Wave go through. He does not have a yellow source since he does not have a yellow tamer. So I'll raise the Soundbirdmon, swing, it'll die this time, trashing the security. I am only at 1 card in deck at this point, so I have to be very careful about what I do. I'm trying to think if I want to play like something like an Impmon or anything like that. I have to make sure that I'm not going to just mill myself out if something in security is bad. So I'll go ahead and swing. The Ultimate Flare will take out one of my rookies, or take out one of my Digimon. And then I'll hit the Reinforced Memory Boost. This time I just decide to hard play the Gazimon, help Memory Choke just in case he has something to deal with the board by playing popping the memory for the Reinforce. So this is where my opponent's thinking about what he's going to do. He can't use the Memory Boost, so he goes ahead and gets a body on board, draws, seeing if he can find that other Bushi, and then he'll go ahead and play another Reinforced Memory Boost, getting the Holy Wave, and then adding the Edens to hand. So this is while I hatch my last deck going to Impmon. I really don't want to bring this Impmon out because I'm just going to die. I'm at 1 card in deck now, I believe. I swing in knowing it's a Holy Wave, swinging with the Gazi. He'll add the card to hand, the Gwaltschormer to hands, swing in with the Vial, hitting another Holy Wave, so it'll recover off again. So at this point, I'm realizing that I have to try to do something. I definitely have to deal with this Cordramon, because if he sees another Bushi, I'm just dead. So I'll just go ahead. At this point, Beelstarmon is easily free. Almost all of my deck is either in my hand or in the trash, so I know she's free. Looking and seeing what I have, what plays I want to make. So here I'll decide to go ahead and play the Fly Bullet just to get rid of the Cordramon to not have to worry about dying to a to a Bushy after an extra check-in, because I know he does have the Gwalt Schwarmer, and I'll just go ahead and play the Mechanori, passing for effectively the best amount of memory that I can, because I just know it's going to die. No point in doing anything like a Nail Bone to increase my board state when it's all just going to go away anyway. So we'll deal with the Cordra, and that's where my opponent, I'm constantly worried now that he's able to pop the memory boost that he's going to be able to go into a Bushi for game, but he does not actually have the Bushi. He makes the comment that it's either in security or in his deck. Here he'll just play the Edens to cycle a little bit more, even though he's not able to kill anything, so he'll just target it without being able to take out either the Zord or the Beelstar that's in the glare. And here he's just thinking about what he's going to do. Decides to go ahead and play the Wyvern's Breath, dealing with the Beelstar. So here I draw the last card of my deck, promote the Imp. I'm trying to decide, you know, what could I hit in security. There's a lot of things that I could hit that'll kill me. I think at this point I'm looking at, I think there's at least one copy of each removal spell that I have to worry about, but there's nothing really I can do at this point. I don't have another Beal in hand, so I just swing in, hit the Izzy Joe, and then swing in for game with the Zord. So that'll be game one. It filled with a little bit of misplays, but kind of balanced out. Anyway, so here my opponent, like always, being a security control player, they will want to go second just so they don't have to pass as much memory, and they also know that I'm playing 3 Musketeers, so I'm probably going to pass them with a decent amount if I don't just pass turn. So I'll evolve into the Imp, hard play the Deputy, reveal 3 Gundramons off the Deputy play, trashing 2 of them. I have to save one of them. He'll capitalize by playing his Izzy Joe and then dealing with the Deputy, cycling a little bit. He knows I have the Gundra, so he just doesn't want to have to deal with it. Maybe I can play something that'll be able to swarm board if I mill something good off of the Gundramon. So here he'll just go ahead. I'll swing in with the Impmon, trashing, and then drawing and discarding. It'll die to the, after dying to the Geogray. And I'll just play another Deputy Mon, that's what's covered up by the glare. Trying to decide what I want to take. Decide to take the Gwalt Schwarmer and then trashing the Trump Sword. So I'll play a Soundbird, make a little bit of a board presence, try to deal with it. Swing in with Geogreymon after the pass turn, hitting an Imp in security, and then just play a Cordramon, drawing a couple more cards. So I'll go ahead and hatch, Digivolve into another Soundbirdmon, swing in, trying to fill up the trash a little bit at this point. So I'm trying to decide which 7-cost option to discard. I'll just go ahead and discard Heavy Bullet Shower. I don't think I have any use for it right now, any way to play it effectively at least. So it'll die. Do remember to let it die this time. Swinging it with the Deputy. And then here, since I don't really want to have to evolve it, because there's no really reason to, I don't have anything that I can really play off of it at this point if I don't mill it. So I just decided to go ahead and go Gwalt Schwarmer to deal with his board as well. So he goes ahead and Holy Waves, choking me at 1. And then I will raise and swing in with the Soundbird to cycle a little bit more. It'll die, and then I'll trash the Promote to get it in the grave so I can bring it back later on, hopefully. And then I'll just go ahead and play the Mat, trying to decide what I want to take back. If I want to take back the Beelstar. I think at this point I don't have a rookie, so I'm trying to decide which rookie I want to take. I end up going with the Soundbird in the hopes that maybe I can hatch into a Sunamon, the one-up Sunamon that I have in the list, or just anything in general to help fill up the trash. Opponent will go ahead and play the Cordramon, and I do happen to hatch into the Sunamon, so never punish there, I guess. And then we'll go ahead and play the Beelstarmon. I think at this point she is a 2-cost with what I have, so I'll go ahead and deal with the Cordramon with the Fly Bullet. I think at this point, I can't remember if I had the Nailbone or not, but either way, dealing with his one thing on board was probably the best way. I didn't want to pass him with too much memory. So I just go ahead and pass turn, put him at 3. I think anything else I had would have put him over that. He Digivolves into the Bushy and then goes and plays the Holy Wave. So I swing in, so he passes turn, I swing in with Soundbird, filling up the trash. Ends up hitting the Wyvern's Breath, so he will take out my Beelstar, but I do have the Impmon in hand, so I can just trash a card to get the Beelstar back. And I'll go ahead and play her. At this point she is 1. I had to make sure that I didn't pass turn with that. So I'll go ahead and I have to take back something. So I'll take back the Fly Bullet, but I will play the Nailbone from hand. Swarm and board a little bit, decide to go ahead with the Promote and put a Soundbird on field. That is an Imp that is in the glare right now. And at this, so I just decide that I'm going to go ahead and play, I think I play another Soundbird. either way, I pass turn. No, I think I just end up passing turn, and he'll go to 5. So he'll swing in with the bushy, it'll die to security, brings out another bushy. He sees them all this game, I think is a comment that he makes, and then he just goes ahead and ultimate flares, effectively wiping out my entire board. So now I just have the Beal Star. Here's a little misplay that I make. I decide to go ahead and evolve into the melee to bottom deck the bushy, in the hopes that if something kills me out of security that I can just bring the melee back and have the body on board. But I am punished here because I do swing in with the melee afterwards and do hit a Zwart, where if it would have been really great if I would have swung in with Beal Star and had to deal with the Zwart. So I just decided to go ahead and passes with as little memory as I can, play the Mechanori, decides to swing in for security. I decide not to block just in case he's got something else like a bushy or some other way to swarm board, or just to or another Cordramon or something that if he recovers, so I just decide not to block, and he goes ahead and tactical retreats his Zwart back in security. Here's where he plays Reinforced Memory Boost, and he decides what he wants to do. If he wants to have the big body in security or something hit the field, he decides to go with the Cordramon, which I think was the smartest play. That's where I'm just reaffirming what he has in security. So I do swing in, hit the Cordramon out of security. I'm not super worried about it because I do have the Mechanorimon to block it if I need to. So here's where I'm just thinking about what play I want to make next. And I decided to just go ahead and go into the Vilemon, pass him over at 2, but because Izzy Joe, he will go up to 4. Pops the Reinforced Memory Boost to go to 7. So he does decide to play Tactical Retreat, put the Cordramon back in there, recover a little bit more with the Holy Wave, and then he's trying to decide what he wants to do. I do have 3 swings on board, not 3 if I don't have any way to Digivolve the Mechanori. So we just decided to go ahead and go Alt Schwarmer to clear field. So I decided to swing in, find out what the new card in security is. It is a Iron Fisted Onslaught, so Millenniummon will die, but he will come back because he did have a source underneath it. And at this point, Beal Starmon is free, so I decided to go ahead and play Beal. Decide what cards, looking at what I have in trash to see what I want to play. If I want to bring out a blocker, bring out a promote, or something like that. Just trying to check and see. So I do decide to bring out the Gazimon and bring out a blocker, because if he does have some way, I do know that's a Cordramon there in security. So if I hit it at a bad point and it does decide to come out and swing, and if he has the bushy for game, then I'm just dead on without a blocker. So I decided to go into the Vilemon, and then I still Digivolve it into the Rebelliumon to get a little bit more cycle. I can't remember what I'm looking for at this point. I think I'm looking for something like a Zwart, or some way to swarm board a little bit more. So I decide not to do the discard, I don't think. And then passing turn, just hard passing, put him at a 5. He'll hard play the Magna, recover 2. I decide to swing with Beal, swing high and go low. And then I'll hit a Izzy out of security, he'll just leave the cards the same. And then I'll hit an ultimate flare with Millenniummon, dealing with the Gazimon, and de-digivolving down the Vilemon. So here I'm looking at my trash, seeing what I have. Here I have this Zwart in hand, and I'm trying to decide if I can go for game, and I don't think I can, but I go ahead and play him, and then off the top, after the draw, I do mill the other promote, so I'm able to just double play promotes. I know what both the last cards are. There's just a Cordramon and a Zwart, so then I just go ahead and swing both of those in, and then swing the Vilemon for game. If you guys are interested in seeing the deck list for the 3 Musketeers that I piloted in this video, I'll have a link to the video in the description below. And if you guys are interested in seeing more Digimon TCG deck profiles and gameplay with commentary, then like and subscribe. Anyway guys, I'll see you next time.